What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Talkin Sports with Jake. Hope we're all doing well. Let's get started. Let's talk some March Madness, this tournament. Again, I'm not a fan. You heard my rant before the tournament started. But let's talk about the Sweet 16 and the Elite Eight. In the Sweet 16, we had number 2 Purdue defeat number 11 Texas 79-77. As Texas's kind of magical run here as 11 seed ends in the Sweet 16. Number 9, Iowa beats number 4, Nebraska in an upset, 77-71. So Iowa to the Elite Eight. Number 3, Illinois beats number 2, Houston, 65-55. Houston really rough second half. Illinois moves on. Number 1, Arizona beats number 4, Arkansas, 109-88. Just really clotheslined Arkansas. And continuing on in the Sweet 16, number 1, Duke beats number 5, St. John's, 80-75. Really good game. St. John's have a chance to win or tie late. They miss a 3. Duke hangs on. Number 1, Michigan beats number 4, Alabama, 90-77. Big game from Yaxel Luxembourg and Michigan. Number 2, UConn sneaks past number 3, Michigan State, 67-63. And number 6, Tennessee beats number 2, Iowa State, 76-62. So an upset for Tennessee as they head to the Elite Eight. And the Elite Eight, we had number 3, Illinois beat number 9, Iowa, 71-59. So Iowa's Cinderella run, if you can call it that. They're in the Big Ten. Cinderellas are gone at this point. Illinois beats them. They move on to the Final Four. Number 1, Arizona beats number 2, Purdue, 79-64. Always cool to see Purdue lose. They're very annoying in March Madness. You never know what they're going to do in terms of picking a bracket. So Arizona moves on to the Final Four. I haven't seen that in a while. And then number 1, Michigan destroys number 6, Tennessee, 95-62. As Michigan advances to the Final Four. Kudos to Dusty May. He's done a fantastic job with that program. And in one of the probably the wildest game of the tournament, number 2 UConn beats number 1 Duke 73-72. Duke's up by 4 with under a minute left. UConn hit 3 to cut it to 1. They're up 2 in the last few seconds. They inbound the ball a little bit less than 10 seconds. And Caden Boozer, not Karen Boozer, who's going to be a top draft prospect, his brother, Caden. We have a horrific turnover in the last couple seconds, and then Braden Mullen's deep 3 with about 2 seconds left makes it to win the game 73-72. UConn to the Final Four for the 3rd time in the last 4 seasons. More college basketball stuff. Caleb Wilson has declared for the draft. UNC star guard. Played for a couple different schools, also played for Arizona as well. He was injured down the stretch for UNC, but he is really good, average 19 points a game. And yeah, he could end up going in the top 5. I'm not sure if the health issues will push him down some draft awards, but talent-wise, he's really, really good. North Carolina State's found a new coach after Will Wade jumped ship back to LSU. They hired Tennessee assistant coach Justin Gainey. He will coach North Carolina State next season. And the Player of the Year finalists in college basketball were announced. It was Darius Acuff from Arkansas, who is really, really good. I think he should go top 5 in this upcoming draft. Cameron Boozer from Duke. AJ DeBansta, who I think will number 1 overall pick this coming draft. And Yaxel Lenberg from Michigan, who is really, really good. I like what I've seen from him this tournament. I could see him being a potential top 5 pick as well in the upcoming NBA draft. Let's talk the NBA standings. We are in the home stretch of the regular season. Most teams have pretty much 8 to 10 games left in the regular season. In the Eastern Conference, the Pistons have clinched a playoff spot. Kudos to them for continuing to play some really good basketball, even without their star player, Cade Cunningham, as he recovers from a collapse lung. Not sure if they'll happen for the postseason. 54-20 should end up with the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. The Boston Celtics have clinched the playoffs. Hate to say it, but what a year for Boston. Coach of the year to me should either be J.B. Bickerstaff in Detroit or Joe Mazzulla in Boston. Boston's 4 games out of the 1 seed right now. Looks like they'll end up being the 2 seed. Knicks for now are the 3 seed. Lose your last 2. Last night you lose to Oklahoma City. But you're still a 3 seed. A game and a half ahead of Cleveland. Right now, 2.5 games back of Boston for the 2nd seed. 4th seed is Cleveland at 46-28. 5 seed is Toronto, who a big win last night. You beat Orlando by 52. You got an NBA record 31-0 run. That's crazy. Teams don't score 31 points in the quarter sometimes. They went on a 31-0 run. That's wild. They're right now the 5 seed. 5 through 10 seeds are also separated by just 3.5 games. Very, very tight. The 6th seed is Atlanta, who's been playing really well down the stretch. They're a half game out of the 5 seed. The first playing team is Philadelphia, who is a game out of the 5 seed. Orlando is the 8 seed right now. They have not been playing well, but they're only 2 games out of the 7th, 2.5 games out of 6. Miami and Charlotte are both 39 and 36. They're both just a half game out of the 8 seed and 2.5 games out of the 7 seed. So very, very tight in the Eastern Conference. And Milwaukee and all those teams have already been officially eliminated. In the Western Conference, we also know who the 10 teams are going to be, but obviously seeding is still up for grabs. Oklahoma City continues to roll. They've won 9 of 10. They have the best record in basketball, 59 and 16. First seed in the West. They've clinched the playoff spot. The Spurs have also clinched the playoff spot. They are just 2.5 games behind Oklahoma City for the first seed. They've won 8 in a row. In the 3 seed, it's the Lakers. They continue to play good basketball, 48 and 26. The 4 seed is Denver. They've all of a sudden gotten hot. They've won 6 in a row. They're only a game behind the Lakers for the 3 seed. We got Minnesota at 5th at 45 and 29. The Houston Rockets have the same record, so those two teams are neck and neck for the 5 and 6 seeds. Both teams are only 2 games out of the 4 seed, 3 games out of the 3 seed. In the play-in, pretty much know what those teams are going to be. Suns are 4 games out of 6 seed. They're probably going to be the first playing team. They'll probably host the Clippers, who are 2.5 games behind Phoenix for the 7. 9 and 10, Portland and Golden State are locked into play-in spots. Exactly. Portland right now is the 9 seed at 38 and 38, exactly 500. They're a game and a half out of the 8 seed. Golden State at 36 and 39. Obviously, a lot of injuries right now. They are the last team in the Western Conference. They are a game and a half out of the 9 seed. So the season end today, still a lot for grab. In the East, it would be the Knicks hosting Atlanta, Cleveland hosting Toronto, and then the winner of Philadelphia and Orlando would play the Celtics in the first round, and the loser of that would play the winner of Miami and Charlotte, and the winner of that game would play Detroit in the first round. East is going to be interesting because Detroit without Kate Cunningham could be a little bit vulnerable. You wonder if, could, Charlotte, who's been really good in the second half of the year, could they potentially upset, as an 8 seed? You always wonder if that is possible at all. In the West, right now, the Lakers would host the Rockets. Denver would host the Timberwolves. Winner of Phoenix and the Clippers would play San Antonio. And then the loser of that would play the winner of Portland and Golden State. And the winner of that would play Oklahoma City. So that's what we're looking at in the NBA playoffs at this moment. Talk some baseball briefly. Nico Horner's, his financial terms are in. The 6-year extension is worth $141 million. So he gets a pretty big deal. That's the 4th largest deal in terms of total money for a second baseman ever. The only good people who got more, I think, were Robinson Cano when he signed as a free agent in Seattle. Jose Altuve when he signed his 7-year extension with the Houston Astros. And I think when Marcus Semien signed his free agent deal originally with, I believe it was with, actually, I think it was with Toronto? No, it was with the Texas Rangers. Yeah, he had the 1 year in Toronto where he had the 47 home runs, and then he got that big deal from Texas when they signed Seager and Semien. So big deal for Nico Horner, good for him. And the Orioles extend Shane Baz, 5 years, $68 million. Get to make a season debut this year. Last year, 10 and 12, 4.87 ERA and 31 starts, 106 in the third. Look, he's still 27 about years old. He's going to be 27 in about a couple months. He was a superstar top prospect. He originally with Pittsburgh, got traded to Tampa in the Chris Archer trade. He flashed in 2021. 2022 comes out of the gate in struggles, ends up having Tommy John, misses almost 2 seasons. 2024 finally comes back, pitched really well, but only in 14 starts. Last year was finally fully healthy, but didn't pitch great year at close to 5. Orioles made the trade for him, give up 4 prospects for him. This is a former first-round pick, still only 26, going on 27 years old. So Orioles clearly believe in him. You have a lot to get him, and now you give him a 5-year extension. Now, the money isn't a whole lot. I think it's a little bit over $13 million a year, about $13.5 million a year. It's not a huge price tag, but 5-year deal. Pays until he's 31. It's pretty much a prime for a starting pitcher. They clearly believe in Shane Baz, and they're going to need him to pitch really well if they want to have a chance to get into the playoffs. That starting pitching really needs to hold together if you are the Baltimore Orioles. Now, I got a couple things I want to talk about. Um, Kind of just random stuff that happened. Not sure if you guys heard. Actually, I shouldn't even say you. If you didn't hear, you must live under a rock. But Tiger Woods was arrested uh a couple of days ago. He was arrested on the suspicion of having a DUI. He did take a breathalyzer. He blew a zero into the breathalyzer. He was not drunk, but he refused to take a urine sample. Showed signs of impairment. It came out that he appeared to be on some sort of drugs. Uh, to be completely honest, he might be hooked on the pills. It's unfortunately very common with pro athletes. A lot of athletes take that to help manage the pain. Tiger Woods has had a lot of surgeries over the years. That's so many, from his knees to his back to pretty much every body part, to be honest. He had one not terribly long ago. He's still working his way back. He was trying to work his way back into golf shape to play in the Masters, which is happening in the next few weeks, as it always does in April at Augusta. Um, that's going to happen now. I don't understand Tiger Woods. Alf, this isn't the first time this happened. I took this screenshot off of an ESPN report uh, when it was being reported. Back in 2009, he was involved in a one car accident near his home in Florida. In 2017, we all remember the viral mugshot. He was charged with a DUI in Florida. He pled guilty to reckless driving. In 2021, he was involved in the one car accident near Los Angeles, so no drinking involved here. But he ended up fracturing his tibia and his fibula. That pretty much fully ended his full-time PGA golfing career. And it was on Friday. He was arrested on suspicion of a DUI after he got in an accident in Florida. If you saw the picture, his truck was completely flipped over on its side. I don't understand. Now, people have been joking about this, but I actually don't mean this in a joking way. Tiger Woods is worth $1.5 billion. That is not an exaggeration. Google if you don't believe me. Hire a goddamn driver. I don't understand. He's a billionaire. Pay a driver. Do you know how many people would, accept a job as your driver? You're a billionaire. Pay him 70 grand a year. Imagine getting paid 70 grand a year, getting paid more than some school teachers do to drive around Tiger Woods. Like seriously, I'm not even trying to be funny or exaggerate or anything. Hire a driver. He says he's not going to do it because he cites personal security concerns. What? What are you talking about, dude? This is what, the fourth time you've gotten into a really bad car accident, second DUI you've gotten. You're turning 50 years old soon. What are you doing? First of all, I'll say this all the time. In the year 2026, there is no excuse for drunk driving. There are so many different things you can do. You can call an Uber. You can call a Lyft. A guy like Tiger Woods can order like that Uber XL. It's really expensive and really nice. He can probably get a personal car service like that. He can get a limo to his house, I'm sure, like that. Like you don't know somebody that would find it awesome that knows you to drive Tiger Woods home from the bar after he had some drinks. Like, it's so ridiculous. He needs to hire a driver. I'm not even kidding. And I'm sorry, if when you're a pro athlete, you're making that amount of money, and you're that stupid, you're getting arrested, you're drinking and driving, and you're putting yourself in danger, other people in danger. Screw you. Okay, he lost a fan in me, and he should have also fan in everybody else. Tiger Woods, maybe the greatest golfer of all time, changed the sport, one of the most important athletes in history of the United States. That's all true, but also a massive moron. Both things are 1,000% true. And moving on, the NCAA's appeal to Mississippi Supreme Court was denied, so Trinidad Seamus can play another year of college football for Ole Miss. So stupid. Guy's been playing college football for the first 6 years. Either go to a draft or get your ass a job. Welcome to the job market. It's so stupid. College sports is completely ruined. It really is a shame. College sports is absolutely cooked. Before we finish up with some wrestling, I want to bring up, I don't talk about hockey on the show. The Golden Knights fired their head coach, Bruce Cassidy, and hired John Tortorella. There are 8 games left in the season. Vegas is not playing very well right now, but they're right now the 7th seed in the Western Conference. They're most likely going to make the playoffs, unless they really collapse and for the first team out gets really hot down the stretch. But they're going to make the playoffs. It looks like. Why are you firing your coach? I get at the end of the year, maybe. First of all, their owner's a nut. Gerard Gallant in the first season as well, he was the inaugural coach for Vegas. Their inaugural season as an expansion team, he takes them to the Cup final. Each of the following 3 seasons, he took them to the playoffs. And I think in like his fourth or his fifth year, middle of the season, they're not playing great. They're like on the fringe of the playoffs. He gets fired. They hire somebody else, a relative big name. He had 1 year where they missed the playoffs because they had so many injuries. He gets fired. You bring in Bruce Cassidy to also let him go. And he wins you a Stanley Cup 2 years ago. 2 years after he wins the Stanley Cup, had one rough stretch late in the season of what's been a relatively good year. They're still going to the playoffs. And with 8 games left, you fired him. That's so ridiculous. I know NHL coaches get fired in midseason all the time, and you bring in some other veteran. That happens a lot. You can do that in the NHL the way it works. But with 8 games left, just fun at the end of the year at that point. And to bring in John Tortorella of all people with 8 games left, now they go just to that dude in 8 games. That's going to be impossible. So I just don't know what Vegas was thinking. Their owner is a complete nut over there. But let's recap Friday Night SmackDown from this past Friday. As the road to WrestleMania continues, we are 3.5 weeks exactly from WrestleMania. Just about. Randy Orton cut a promo to start out. Didn't really accomplish a whole lot. Obviously, Matt Cardona came out and attacked Randy Orton. Randy Orton was like yelling at him, was like, "Do you want me to break your other arm?" I was kind of thinking, Randy's kind of right. If Randy Orton of all people attacked me like that, I would avoid him at all costs. Anyways, we had the Bella Twins versus Charlexa in a women's tag team match. The Bellas pick up the win. Afterwards, the Nia and Lash attacked, and Bayley and Lyra Valkyria came out. They're fighting the Irresistible Forces on Raw tonight. 40 Women's Tag Team Championships. Also, is kind of an okay match. So this feud is just terrible. It's so bad. Every match is a disqualification. It ends the same way with the Irresistible Forces attacking everybody. So bad. We had some backstage segments. We had Nick Aldis telling Sami Zayn that there was not a WrestleMania match for him. We're telling Trick Williams that he's going to have a WrestleMania match. And then he punched Trick Williams in the face before storming off. We had Orton demanding a match with Matt Cardona when he ran to Nick Aldis backstage. At first, Aldis says, I'm not doing it. We need your help for WrestleMania. And Orton said, well, I can't promise what's going to happen. He's like, all right, fine. I'll give you the match. We had that. Then we had Rhea Ripley against B-Fab, and just then of course Michin and Jay get involved. This feud might be the worst WrestleMania feud ever. It is absolutely terrible. First of all, why are B-Fab and Michin partnering with Jade Cargill? You feud with her in stupid backstage segments and 2-minute matches for like 3 months, 4 months. You missed a month of action because she injured them both in working with them. And all of a sudden, you start to partner with her, and their explanation was, "Oh, I know what you're getting with Jade. She has a lot of power, and he's the champ." It's like 2 weeks ago, you were saying that she keeps running her mouth and she wants to put her in her place, and you hate her. Like, what are we doing? Also, if they were going to team up with Jade against Rhea, why did we break up Rhea if Io was not going to go into a feud for the U.S. title with Julia? Like, we all thought that was, like, why did that happen? This is some of the worst booking I've seen in a while. Just like, what are we doing? Like genuinely, what are we doing? Then backstage, the Bellas and Charlexa had a backstage moment. Then we had Jelly Roll against Kit Wilson, and that Jelly Roll picked up the win. I like Jelly Roll. He's also a lot of weight. Kudos to him for losing the weight. He shows up. He's putting in a time. But this company says, oh, we have no plan for Royce Keith. We're still figuring it out. Meanwhile, Jelly Roll had like 5 segments. Of course, we knew Kit Wilson was going to lose because he got cursed by Danhausen. But again, I do want to give credit to the girl. He's doing the best that he can. Carmelo Hayes, United States Championship Open Challenge was against Sami Zayn. Sami Zayn picked up the win with some accidental help from Trick Williams. I do not get the infatuation with Sami Zayn. Carmelo Hayes made this title relevant for the first time in decades, and he gets rewarded with losing to Sami Zayn. And now Zayn and Trick are having a U.S. title match at Mania. All right, cool. I'm happy for Trick. He better take the title off Sammy. That should be the plan, and that's the right move to put a title on Trick Williams. The guy's a superstar. But that match didn't need a championship. I don't understand. And if Hayes is a little left off the card, that is horrific. That is horrific. Sami Zayn is a completely whiny ass bitch who continues to use his pathetic backstage politics to get involved in everything. I used to not believe the Sammy Hogan stuff. Now I definitely believe it. He killed Chad Gable's momentum in 24. Now he killed Carmelo Hayes' momentum. The guy is a complete joke. He has this old trick that he's this quirky underdog. He's not, okay? He's held multiple titles in WWE. He doesn't put over young talent. He didn't put over Braun Breaker. He didn't put over Chad Gable. He didn't put over Carmelo Hayes. He just refuses to do it. The guy is a complete joke. He's overrated. He's whiny. And he's going to use this to try and get back in the world title scene by the end of the year. And he's going to lose again. And it's going to be the same story over and over and over again. He is stale, and the guy just isn't that good. Absolutely terrible. By the way, can we stop with these backstage segments with Nakamura and Tama Tonga? I've had enough of those. I will say they're kind of Tama Tonga breaking off from MFTs and maybe getting a singles run. We'll see where that goes. That is pretty intriguing. Fatu and McIntyre obviously both were banged up. They ended up their match at WrestleMania has been solidified. It's going to be an unsanctioned match, which is going to be very entertaining. You had Julia against Tiffany Stratton in a non-title match. Julia wins. Pretty boring. I'll see Cameron James there at ringside. Chelsea had another funny backstage segment. Who cares? And Randy Orton had his match with Matt Cardona. Randy picked up the win. Absolutely demolished Matt Cardona. And then Cody Rhodes came out. They had a huge brawl. And then Jericho came out and got RKO'd. I'm sorry, this segment sucked. This segment is exactly what I mean when I say this WrestleMania build is horrible. It might be the worst WrestleMania build of my lifetime. You take 2 steps forward and a step back. Randy Orton turns heel. He destroys Cody Rhodes. He hits him with the steel steps. He rips his shirt off. He's bleeding. He takes the other steel steps or the steel chair and smashes Cody Rhodes while he's stuck in between the steel steps. And then you do another dragged out, repetitive brawl that we see all the time with Jelly Roll involved. Again, 2 steps forward, a step back. Look at the Vaquer and Liv feud. He was getting really hot, like that promo Vaquer did in Spanish that made Liv cry. That was incredible acting. And now you've had like some little backstage moments or not even both involved in, like 2 steps forward and the step back. It's a shame. I think this WrestleMania card is actually pretty good, but the build is just so lackluster that nobody cares. It really is a shame that this company has fallen so far. That's all I got for you guys today. Till next time, so long and have a great day.